IGT, baby.
What's cracking, y'all? It's your boy Junior Mafia coming back to you with another video. So we got to talk about what happened on Friday Night SmackDown, and this was fan-fucking-tastic. This had to be the best SmackDown in quite some time, because I'm not going to lie, the last few of them has been a snooze fest, so to speak, and very repetitive. But I really think that they cooked up, with tonight's show. And so we're going to talk about what happened, throughout the show, especially what led up to the main event and whatnot. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So we had Nick Aldis in the middle of the ring kicking off and pretty much expanded about the match between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, and that was supposed to be number one's contenders match, and got confirmed. And he was speaking about who they're gonna face, so it ended up being Cody Rhodes. So Cody coming out there and pretty much explaining, to them, like, whoever was the number one contenders match, had to face me, so let the better man win. And that was pretty much it. And go on by his business. So we think he pretty much done for the night. So we come back from commercial break, and you see him with Jacob Fatu, and you see Jacob Fatu, he's just embracing San Jose and all that too, and just like the whole Cali to be exact. And he let Cody know, like, listen, when I finish taking care of business against Drew McIntyre, we're gonna see each other, and the title gonna be on the line. And Cody said, I'm looking forward to it and all. So they dab each other up, going by their business and whatnot. So there's more to that when we get towards the main event. I want to say right now, one of the most fantastic matches that we had tonight for Sami Zayn U.S. Open Challenge. And at first it was going to be The Miz, because Sami wasn't even on the card for the night. But he was telling Nick Aldis, like, listen, I don't care what you're saying. I know about the whole MFT situation, and Shinsuke was bound to get his rematch clause, after the whole thing went down, and we'll get across that bridge when we get there. But I want to be able to be a fighting champion. I want to be able to put this on the line, not just for myself, but towards the fans. They deserve this. So he wasn't taking no for an answer, and what was going on with the Open Challenge. So Miz caught eye on that, and immediately, he was about to, be that mystery opponent for Sami Zayn. So Sami comes out there and all that, does his entrance, when they see who's going to be his opponent. So Miz music hits. So he come out there, and he pretty much saying, I'm going to be your next opponent now for that U.S. Championship, blase, blase. But before he even finished, Carmelo Hayes comes in, knocked this nigga from behind, and he is just full on attack mode, crashing out on him and stuff like that. So now at this point right now, Sami doesn't even have an opponent. So as we staying there waiting to see who else go answer the call, we have a returning Ilya Dragunov. And this was sensational because the crowd was hype. So invested. I was even like turned up to see him because, after dealing with the injury that had to sideline him for damn near a year and a half, or you're going to let me know in the comments. It's been a minute since we saw him. So he just embracing the moment and all that. And when I tell y'all, this fucking match was so good. This was 10 out of 10, in my opinion. They definitely delivered. And it was heavy hitting from both guys. And, it was times where you thought that Dragunov was actually going to pull it off until Sami was able to capitalize, and, give, have a bit of offense. I ain't take down notes watching the match, but, watching it and being very engaged with it, that's what, that's just so much things happening, but it was so fucking good. So towards the tail end of it, and we think it was about to be a wrap after Sami was able to catch him with the haluva kick into the Blue Thunder Bomb, and we think that was about to be over until Dragunov kicks out. So he kicks out, and Sami now try to go on attack mode to pretty much finish him off. until Dragunov was able to counter that. Once it was done, I forgot his signature move that he did, but right when I was done, he went for the elbow drop and finally connected. And once it was done, he pinned Sammy for the 1, for the 2, for the 3. And we have a new United States champion, something that shocked the hell out of me because I didn't expect that to happen. Meaning to say, I know they're going to put up a bang of a match, but I truly think Sammy was going to win and then they was going to like move on from that. But they did the unthinkable, and Swerve wasn't thinking Sammy was going to win. And then we had Ilya Dragunov, who came back from a gruesome injury to go on and now win the United States Championship. So I think that was the right call. I'm here for it. I enjoyed it. And makes me think that we're going to get some banger matches now with Ilya Dragunov as the U.S. champion. So he out there celebrating. They got the power out for him and stuff like that. So it was just a very special moment. And all of that ended up crashing down when you had Solo and NXT come out there and they was packing up Dragunov. They packed up Sami Zayn. You see Rey Fenix come out there trying to help out. They packed his ass up and all that. Means to say, backstage when Rey Fenix was taking photos and stuff like that, you saw Solo, Tyler Tonga, and I think it was JC Mateo. And, you know, he pretty much interrupted him and all that. And he ended up getting packed up for his troubles. And you come out of the ring, he's trying to help out both Ilya Dragunov and Sami Zayn, only to get packed the fuck up the way he did. And, you know, Solo just yapping as usual, blah, blah, blah. But once he was done, lights come off, and you see Bo Dallas, you know, on Titantron, and basically saying to the MFT, like, you know, this whole thing been going back and forth and all that, like, this has to pretty much come to an end. And you know, it planting the seeds for War Games. Like, this is where it's leading to right now. And I know people got mixed emotions about it. You know, some people like it, some people don't, and all that. Personally, for me, I don't mind it. As long as they can be able to every week build this feud up, make it interesting for us to really want to tune in and be invested into this War Games match. If they can do that right there and execute it, I don't envision a circumstance they don't knock it out the park when we get to a Survivor Series. But every week now, from this point forward, needs to be some top-notch crash outs. And y'all know what I mean with the crash. I'm talking about carnage all over the ring, weapons involved. You know, you got some of them outside of the and like outside with the crowd and stuff like that fighting. That's the type of stuff I need, because that's going to amp up that match at Survivor Series. So I'm looking forward to it, and definitely want to see what they cook up with that. So it's time to get towards the main event. And we had Jacob Fatu music hits. So we sitting there waiting, but we don't know what's going on. Next thing we know, we cut backstage and we see Jacob Fatu just lay the fuck out, and in a puddle of his own blood, and teeth knocked out on the ground. So now I have you thinking, like, what the fuck happened? Because who was behind all this carnage? And nobody knows. So we were all confused as hell. And then Drew McIntyre music hits. So he coming out there and he's smiling, taking his time. Because he's like, you know what? Jacob out of the equation right now. This is a cakewalk for me to be number one contender for the Undisputed WWE Championship. So he gets in there, he tells the ref, well, Jacob not here, start counting. So ref starting to count and all that. And they all are saying, nah, we're not doing that. Like, I don't know what happened to Jacob Fatu backstage and all that, but I'm going to get to the bottom of that and tell Drew, if you have anything to do with this, there's going to be some consequences for your actions and all that stuff. So Drew's saying, like, well, I'm not saying it's me. He's laid out, so you might as well crown me as the number one contender for the championship. So as that's happening, you see Cody Rhodes come back, and we think he left, and he's like, he is like pissed off, like on crash out mode, and he's talking about we not doing this and all that. This is supposed to be a number one contenders match and all that, and we here to see a fight, not you yapping and all that too. So now he's heated. He said like, you know what, like bump that. If you want a title match, like let's go right now. Like get a ref out here ringing bell. Let's go right now. And he's in his suit and all that, and decided to take everything off. And him and Drew got to fighting and all that. And they cut to commercial break, but you can see them still brawling from outside the ring, and they even got towards the crowd area where they was going back and forth. So when we come back from commercial break and we go, they go back in the ring. Cody rings for the bell, so ring that bell. And now we had an impromptu championship match. So as it's going on, we're still trying to speculate who was behind Jacob Fatu getting packed up the way he did. And as it's going on, you see Cody, and he's on a shit offense and all that. Drew, of course, started getting some offense in as well. And as it's going on, and they get towards the outside of the ring, Drew's able to throw Cody over the barricade where the timekeeper be at. So he's over there and all that. He's trying to, recover from the beatdown. So he looked to go at Cody to go get him, and Cody hits him with the title. And with no issue, just disqualified himself. And the thing about that, y'all, this is not Cody. Like, that's not his lane. That's not how he wrestles. He don't do that to pretty much win the match. So to see him disqualify himself the way he did, it have you thinking like, yo, this is a total different person right now. Even when he was brawling with Drew McIntyre, he got in the ring and he was doing the 10 punch count, he was literally biting this man's forehead and all that too. Like, this is a different Cody Rhodes that we see. So all that's going on right now, that he hits with a title, disqualifies himself, and he just has this different look. And I think even you could correct me, I think Joe Tessitore, he brought this up, and he was saying like, yo, this ain't like, look at Cody's face, like this, he looks like a total different person. And he cut out the whole announce desk and all that too. He about to go towards Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre ended up raking his eyes and all that, and puts him on the shoulder. And I think he was trying to put him through the announce table, but Cody was able to get out of that, and of course takes Drew down, and he gets on top of the announce desk with Drew McIntyre, and this man is about to hit a crossroads on there. Now he's pretty much trying to like send Drew packing, and at this point right now you have all the JAG and Nick Aldis and them all surrounding them, trying to move Cody and all that away from Drew and stuff like that. And as it's happening, they separating them and all. Cody had enough. He went straight into the ring, got on the top rope on the opposite side, and decides to do a dive on the Drew McIntyre by the ramp. And at this point, it's cleared up right now. They end up separating each other. Cody go back in the ring, and he's amped up, and they pulling Drew back. So that was crazy to see. I didn't see that spot, like, that sign from Cody at all. This is the first, seeing him really like be fired up and don't give a shit and all that. Keep in mind, we still don't know who's behind it. I'm like, Cody might be thinking of having Drew McIntyre about this whole thing, and means to say, where Drew wasn't behind it. Cody going to assume, based off their history with each other and seeing what Drew's capable of, and then his body language and the way he lied for him, after finding out what happened to Jacob Fatu, it's just, Cody had that assumption that he had something to do with it. But it could be one person that might be behind the whole Jacob Fatu injury and all. And before I even bring that up, I know this is the way to write him off because he was dealing with a non-contact injury, so to speak, and don't know what it was. And I pray he gets better. Prayers up to you, Jacob. I just hope you heal up well and all. But it's gonna sideline him. They said probably to 2026, but we just haven't gave like a specific date yet on his return. So we'll see how things go. Our prayers up to him. But the way how they written him off and him being laid out with his teeth, let me say teeth in quotation, by being like out on the floor, one can make the argument it could be Randy Orton. Because with Randy, what's the one thing he infamous of? The punt kick. Even though he good at kicking you in the temple, meaning to say he did that, but it hit Jacob in the mouth, which caused his teeth to come out and him bleeding profusely. It's a multitude of things. Now I'm not saying that it is. It can be. But I love where this is going now because this is going to be the topic of discussion every single Friday now to decide who's really behind the whole Jacob Fatu attack situation. Similar to what the whole Jade Cargill thing when she got packed up and we found out it was Naomi. Now I know that kind of dragged, in my opinion. They could do something like that, but make it interesting to see who is really behind that. Because we don't know, and it could be anybody. Maybe it could have been Cody and the way he crashed out. And we know that's never him. So that can potentially happen. We can say it was Randy. Some people think it might be Drew McIntyre. But I love this right here because now you're pretty much just putting layers out there now to see who's really behind this shit. And I love it. And I hope they really do right when the time comes of who was really behind that attack and all that too. So they got time to build that up. And I'm definitely looking forward for next week in regards to all those things right there. But this was a good ass SmackDown. Good ass SmackDown right here. And if I had to give it a rating, of course, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. And for two things. One, for Ilya Dragunov, winning the United States Championship match and putting on a banger match with Sami Zayn. And then, of course, the whole crash out with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. And that whole thing with Jacob Fatu being a mystery of who attacked them. Debbie had me invested into it. This has been a while since SmackDown was that interesting. Because it's been a snooze fest for these last couple of weeks. So, to be able to pretty much revive yourself with this type of situation, sign me up. I'm invested to it. I'm looking forward to what's to come. So I cannot wait. But comment down below. Let me know what you think about Friday Night SmackDown. What was your favorite part on it? And who do you think is behind the whole Jacob Fatu attack? Let me know down in the comments down below. I appreciate your love and support. Continue to keep God first. Trust the process on anything that you do in life. Your time will come. And I'm going to catch you on the next video. Peace.